Hey everyone, it's your girl Vidge. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's literally the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me tell you why. It is free, first of all, which is literally the best thing ever. Anchor will also distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on various different platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and so much more. You can also make money just from your podcast with no minimum listenership, and it's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hey everyone, it's your girl Vidge with my co-host Shia, and we are here to bring you today's tea.
I'm actually really excited for today's episode because we're going to be dishing out all the lies that brown parents tell.
I'm actually so excited. I 100% agree. But little disclaimer, we have basically talked before and me and she have realized our parents don't really tend to lie about us to other people. But what we have noticed is they actually tend to exaggerate the truth and make us seem actually a lot more useless than what we actually are.
My mum is so harsh. Like, whenever anyone comes to the house, so my mum's very particular about the way she cleans her kitchen and
Oh
where
my
she
God.
has things. So even if I do anything, she redoes it. So
Yes.
whenever people come to the house, though, she's just like, she doesn't do anything. She's basically this lazy little slum. And people genuinely, I swear, when they come to my house, must think that I'm a useless human being who probably couldn't take care of herself because that's what they make me sound like. But I'm very
Oh my
capable.
God. No, I think that's the same. My mom is actually such a perfectionist. Like anything I do is like not to her standard. Like I need to cut like onions a certain way. She doesn't like it. She needs it like a 45-degree angle, 1 to 2 centimeters like thick. Like that's how extreme she is. Obviously, she doesn't say this criteria, but I just know if I'm like doing something, she's eyeing me up from behind, and I'm like, why, just why? And then it's like it gets worse because it's like my mom doesn't do it just to like relatives. She does it to like anyone. It's like she can meet this person for the first time and she would somehow find a little way to basically say that I don't do anything at home. I don't do any chores. And I'm like, bro,
Same.
I literally do the most. What do you mean?
Same. My mum, oh my God, is exactly the same. I don't know
It's
if
so
she does it to get a rise out of me. She just literally, she must just think it's bants.
I
Because
think I
when
think
no
I
one's
think it is.
around, she's just like, you do actually know how to do things. You're just sometimes too lazy to just do it, or you don't do it fast enough. So when she's cooking, if I'm trying to help, I might
Mm.
not do things at the same time she would do it, or I don't do it at the same pace that she would do it, and it kind of disrupts her regular rhythm and routine that she has. So she
Yeah.
prefers it when I'm not around. Um,
I think that's the case actually. But to be fair, your mum sounds a lot nicer than mine. I mean, not saying that my mum, if you are going to listen to this, sorry, mum, I do love you, and I know you do rate me at times. But I think there are some points where my mum, even in the same house when no one's actually there, she will still palm me. So I don't know. Maybe it's because my mum's a little bit more savage. Maybe that's
Potential.
why. We're gonna go with that.
We'll go with
I
that. They
think,
just have a bit of humor. That's all it is.
yeah. Plus, they know that, even though they're riling us up and winding us up, like at the end of the day, they know that we still know that they love us. So they're just like,
Yeah.
I can be rude to you and you will get over it because you're my daughter. So it's just one of those things.
Oh yeah, my mum actually just says things sometimes purposely to annoy me. Like
Oh,
she
yeah.
knows what pisses me off and what she gets a rise out of. So
I think they
sometimes when
let
she's
you
bored, I swear, just go straight for it.
Oh my God. Well, I think, I don't know if we got lucky in that sense that they don't actually lie about us and maybe they just exaggerate, but I do know that there are a lot of lies that brown people tell in general to relatives or anyone really that will listen to them rant.
Oh yeah, there's a ton of stuff that they tell us.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure, mate. Honestly, the one that not my parents. I don't know if my mum and dad have actually said it to me before, to be honest. But I know one that's quite common is that naughty kids don't get presents, and I think,
Oh yeah.
and I don't know if that stemmed off like from Santa Claus giving like coals to like the kids. I don't know if that's where that's come from, but like I know that that is a term that I've heard, like a phrase that I've heard quite a lot, is that naughty kids don't get presents, and obviously you need to behave a certain way to get a present. And I think growing up I just knew that if you're naughty, you don't get present. Like, why are you going to get rewarded if you're naughty? So I think like I knew if I did good, my mom and dad would just give me presents. So I think that's just a normal thing. I don't know about you.
No, I completely agree. We were kind of like taught good behavior as rewarded in
Yeah.
the same way. So you kind of always knew. You know, you get told so many lies as kids, like
Yeah.
so many lies as kids. I remember like, oh, what is that? There's that Tamil phrase where they say like "Sami vandu kannu kuthum," which if any of you are English, it basically translates to if you it's basically if you lie, then God will come and stab your eyes. It's basically what
Yeah,
it translates to. And
that
it's
sounds
basically
very
discourage
true.
people from like lying. Like there's loads of other things that my mum kind of said. So
Hmm.
like if you stretch your face too much, like it'll be like permanently like that.
Yeah.
So you couldn't make like funny faces or anything like that.
Hmm. The wind will come and make it stay like that. My dad absolutely loves that because I sometimes, even though my voice is so monotone, my face sometimes I do a lot of expressions, and then my dad's like, "Oh, like you need to like relax and stop pulling all these funny faces because the wind will come and then you'll just stay like that, and no one will want you like that." And I'm like, "Wow, that
Dad,
is so
your
hard."
dad sounds just a savage and mean.
They both are, which is the issue. This is why I'm savage and people are like, "You're too much." I'm like, yeah, but my parents are too much.
Just get it off them, don't you?
Yeah, genes. But no, I've heard that one, the Tamil phrase that you said. I've heard that before. That's actually quite scary if you think about it. I think if I personally, my parents never said that to me because like I don't know, they just never said that. But my mum in general absolutely hates lying. Like you can see when she feels uncomfortable because she doesn't want to say the truth, but she doesn't want to lie because she
Yeah.
just hates lying. Like even white lies is for her is like a big crime. So like yeah, lying just does not go down in our family. But like if she told me that, I would probably never lie in my entire life because that just sounds very scary.
Yeah, I think that's they obviously just trick kids into doing it. Then there's a bunch of like
Mm.
superstitious ones as well, and I don't actually know if parents believe all the superstitious ones that they say, but I know my mum's like a
No.
holy believer in superstitions, and I don't know if she knows that they're not real and just kind of like preaches it anyway. Like you
I
break
think
mirror
so.
and it's 7 years bad luck, like all those
Oh my
superstitions.
God. Yeah, and what is it? Don't cut your nails on a Friday or something
Yes, that one comes up all the time. It's not even a Friday. Like, they
in the
have that whole one
evening.
where in the evening, but that
Yeah.
that originated because back in the days where they didn't have any light, if you cut your nails at night, you'll just
Hmm.
have like nails everywhere and they'll fly away, and then someone would probably poke themselves and get injured. That was the reasoning behind it. And
Um,
nowadays people just continue that on blindly.
yeah, that makes sense to be honest. And oh my God, that annoying one where it's like after New Year you can't go to someone's house for the first time on a Thursday. Why? What's bad
Yeah.
about Thursday?
I have no idea. Do you know what? These probably aren't lies, in all fairness. They probably
No.
100% believe this, and
Yeah.
we should do a whole other thing about traditional concepts and beliefs that people have that I'm going to say we don't really get.
Yeah, I agree. I think we should do that in another episode for sure. But I think moving on from like lies, I think brown parents, yeah, they give superstitions and whatever, but the main thing that they love to do is lying about like other children just to make us like it's
Yep.
not like I don't know, it's like guilt trip slash blackmailing us to make us like feel like we need to do better almost. Like kids studying medicine, like for me personally, like when I grew up, I wanted to be a doctor, but there was I got to one point where I was just like, actually, it's way too hard. And now I'm at a point where I'm like, actually, I don't want to do medicine. Like I'm cool with not being a doctor. But I feel like parents, like Tamil parents especially, they've got those like three categories that you have to fall into. So it has to be like either you need to be a doctor, either you need to be like an engineer, or it's like accountant, kind of.
Hmm.
And like if you don't fall into those categories it's like wow. So then there's like they use other children to be like, oh look at this child studying medicine, and then there's you, and it's like,
Yeah.
bro, she's not even studying medicine, what are you talking about, she's doing pharmacy.
Do you know what? I've not met the parents personally, but like I know a lot of parents who kind of like lie about their children. If their children are studying like biomedicine, they'll tell everyone that they're studying medicine. If they work at a hospital, they'll tell people that they're like a doctor. And
The
I'm just
doctor,
like,
oh my
be
God.
proud of your kid's profession. Like, just be proud of what they are studying and what they are
Yeah.
doing, and like, you don't need to lie about that. But there is so many parents who do lie about like doing medicine, because that is such a huge concept of like,
It's
I
like
don't
it's
know what
like
it
if
is.
your kid is studying medicine, you're a bit superior to everyone else, and I'm like, I don't get that. Like,
The modern day caste system.
yeah, it literally is. I'm just like, all right, fine, whatever. That if you actually think that believing your kid does medicine when they don't will make you sleep better at night, you do you be. But like, don't be telling everyone else that they do medicine, because when they find out on their LinkedIn that actually they're not a doctor, they're just a laboratory assistant at a hospital, then it's gonna look shady on you, not them.
Yeah, like, it's completely fine. Like, everyone's profession is like good. I think this is the thing. They're literally like making it seem as though what their kid doing isn't good enough, and that's my main problem with it. It's
Yeah.
just own what your kid does, because your kid's probably doing something amazing.
Yeah. Oh my God, right? I don't understand why you need to lie in general. Like, there's loads of parents that will say, "Oh, my kids never drink or smoke." Girl, are you kidding me? Like, they're the ones that are high key down an alleyway, like smoking and like buying bottles from Sainsbury's or whatever and having a roadman drink up. Like, why are you even lying? You know that your kid is out doing some madness. Like, why are you pretending like he's some golden child, or she even? But to be honest, this is mainly about guys, because I don't think they'll ever say that about girls, because obviously we need to have a certain kind of reputation in quotation marks as a
Yes.
girl.
Oh my, let's not go there. Let's not
Let's
go
not.
there. Let's not. I'll rant forever about that. But in truth, some parents genuinely, I don't think they know what their kid is like, and they think that they are this golden child. I remember once, oh my God, I went to this event, and
Mhm.
there's an auntie who's telling me how amazing her kid is to my parents.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there being like, nah, like, I know exactly what your child is like. And then obviously when I come home, it's, look at under the leopard. Sorry, I'm gonna translate this into English. Look at that other girl. She was just sitting there quietly, not talking to people. And there's you running around with every other Tom, Dick, and Harry. And I was like, what?
Oh my God.
Sorry.
That is
Oh,
that's so true though. They that's like a big one that they always say. And it's just like, if only you actually knew what your kid was doing, you would not be the one that opens your mouth straight away, because
100%.
you'd
No.
be like, crap, I can't actually say anything.
Yeah. But there are certain things, in all honesty, that parents do lie about when they have no information whatsoever. So for example, like,
Hmm.
my parents are always just like, when if I'm sometimes like, if I don't call them,
Hmm.
they'll be like, oh, I'm gonna say thingy's child, always calls whenever she goes out. She's always
Oh my
speaking to the
God.
parents. And I'm just like, does she though? How do you have this set of information
Yeah.
about them?
It's like, are you an FBI agent on the side? Like, how do you actually know that that person actually calls their parents?
Honestly, they obviously don't.
No. I get that all the time though. Like, I can't lie. I am pretty bad on my phone, but I feel like it's because I just saw you at home. Like, I want to just be able to go out and be free for a little bit. Like, why do I have to call you when I just saw you? Like, I just want some time out. But my mum and dad get this, like, I don't know. Like, I feel obviously they're worried and they just want to make sure we reach the destination. But for me, I'm just like, oh my God, it's so annoying. Like, so sometimes I'm just like, yeah, like I will text you when I get there. But then, when you just get so excited with whatever motive you have gone to,
Yeah.
it just kind of you just forget. And then I get the text messages, the missed calls, and I'm like, oh crap, I forgot to call. And I'm like, right, fine, hold on, guys, let me go and ring my mum. And then I ring my mum or ring my dad, whoever it is, and then they're like, why didn't you ring? I'm like, oh, yeah, I kind of forgot. I'm sorry. Like, no, how many times have I told you that you have to ring me? This person rings her mum all the time. Okay, yeah, but I am not, they're not your kid. But do you know what makes me laugh about that comparison? It's when they do something good, it's, oh, that kid, she always calls
Yes.
the parent. But if they were to do something bad, oh no, 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 but are they my daughter? You're my daughter. But didn't you just compare me to her like last week? But now it's a different thing because you didn't like what she did. It's so
It's
irritating.
so bad. I remember they're like, you know, sometimes they'll be like, they'll find something about someone. They'll be like, oh, this kid, like, I think it was like when I was like studying, and it was like, oh, she's always studying. You know,
Oh my God.
she doesn't watch shows or anything. She just sits
Hmm.
down and studies. And then the next week I'll go to them and being like, and I think it was like I asked permission to go out somewhere.
Oh yeah.
And then they were, oh, and it was like, I'll come back home late. And my parents were like, no, you can't go. And I was like, but Thingy goes out and comes back late. They were like, why would you compare yourself to her? And I was like, because you did it last week. But apparently that's not acceptable. It's not acceptable for me to use other kids as an example to prove and validate my behavior. But it's
No.
completely fine for them to use that same child and to use it against me to make me feel bad about doing or not doing something.
Oh yeah, of course, because it's one way for them and one way for us. Don't you know that?
100%. It's so hypocritical. It's hilarious.
Oh God. But that just like there's so many different situations with those kind of things. Like they always say, oh, you know, this person's kid never talks back to their parents. They always do their chores and they always listen to their parents, but you're the only one that actually just talks back. And I'm like, no, that's what you think because you've only ever seen them when they come to our house, and obviously they're not going to behave like that with you. But when I go to their house, I know what's up. I know they don't act like that, but obviously you're never going to see that. So they just assume that our friends are like, you know, in this nice little bubble with halos around their heads. But like, it's only us that isn't like that.
Oh, 100%. I always used to get, especially when I was younger, it was always like, you know, that girl wouldn't go out and hang out with guys or hug guys and, you know, do that.
Oh
And I
my
was like, but she does.
God.
She's with me. Hugging guys. It's fine.
But she's actually got 2, 3 men on the side and you don't even know.
It's the exact, yeah, honestly, it always makes me laugh. And there's always like loads of times where you can't actually tell your parents like
Yeah,
what they're actually like. So you just kind of have to sit down, shut up, and just take it and just be like, uh-huh, uh-huh. And deep
literally.
down, I'm just like, one day, like, I'm gonna rat out everyone.
Oh
I
my
mean, I
God.
won't, but like, it'll be hilarious, I think, if you did.
Expose. And then people will be like, why did this girl decide me to expose her on the podcast? Out of all places.
Could you
Oh,
imagine?
oh my God, I know. And there's oh my God, there's also the other one where it's like, oh, you know, my friends' kids always tell their parents everything about them and
Oh my
where they're
God.
going and this, that, and the other, and you don't tell
Who they're
me.
hanging out with, who they dating. I'm just like, no, they don't. Like, no
Yeah.
kid tells their parent absolutely everything.
I mean,
I think they
some
might be
probably
actually.
do. Yeah, but I still feel like that's the kids and parents when they've got like that best friend relationship. I feel like that's very rare in the Asian community unless
Yeah.
I don't know, unless your parents are really, really safe and modern or whatever, or
I
unless
think
you're a
I
boy.
would like to be that mum who knows everything about their child.
You would, but
Yeah,
you wouldn't. You
I
would.
would. I would.
I would as well, but I feel like that's where you've got to draw the line because where is it where you can be that safe parent that your kid can tell you everything and where is the line where you need to still discipline them to an extent?
Yeah, well, you're still the parent, but they feel safe enough to tell you everything. I think that's the thing.
Yeah,
They need to. I think it's more about cultivating. And I'm not a parent yet, guys, so I could be talking complete rubbish. Just
and neither am I.
yeah. So just put it out there. We're just talking on a. You know, wouldn't it be nice
Yeah.
um if you created like a safe space, and this is just obviously my idea of how it would work. If you created like a nice safe space where they felt
Hmm.
safe to admit doing crap,
Yeah.
and then you as a parent still go, that's dumb.
Yeah. And you can still discipline them and they'll still listen to you, but feel safe enough to be like, if they had an issue, they could come and ask you and know that they would get advice, but not feel scared enough to come and ask you, which I think that's what all parents want. But
Yeah.
I think with the Asian mentalities, they go a bit too ham on the discipline side, where then we don't feel comfortable enough to have to be able to feel like, oh, I can actually tell my mum and dad everything. But I think that's where the line it kind of blurs into one, isn't it? That's why so many Asian girls live this double life, which I know I was definitely guilty of at uni, which I think
Oh
maybe
yeah.
we should address in a different episode.
Oh God, the lies kids tell their parents.
Yeah, oh my
Yeah.
God, how funny would that be?
Speaking of which, do you know another huge, huge, huge lie that parents always tell us, which I don't think mine still haven't stopped saying, but I remember when I was like pre-uni, my
Hmm.
parents was like, you can do whatever you want after you go to uni.
Oh my God.
And yet I went to uni and I still wasn't allowed to do those things.
Yeah. And
And it
then
was
then it
like,
was like, oh, you can do it after you then start working, actually. We'll change the rules.
because I went to work as well. And now it's after I get married.
Yeah, I hear that as well, actually. But then it's like, well, can I really do the most that I want after I'm married? Because then I'm married. And then obviously it's not like my husband is going to be restraining me from doing all the things I want, but it's kind of like you're no longer single and you have to think about the other person now. So realistically,
Mm.
you can't do whatever it is you want to
Yeah.
an extent.
Depends on, obviously, it depends on what it is. But
Yeah.
honestly, like, my parents, I think, I remember when I was like, I want to dye my hair. And it was as simple as I want to dye my hair. Tattoo is the same. It's like, I want to get a tattoo. It's just like, after you go to uni finished. After you go to work, got my work, got into a really good position. I make money.
Oh my
After you
God.
get married. And I was like, really?
Well, at least you got that. Like my mom and dad are just like, nope, I hate tattoos. Nope, I hate piercings. You can do whatever you want when you're married, but actually, up until that point, it's a no from me. You're not getting anything. So here I am with my two basic studs in in my ears. I can't get any cartilage piercing, any
Oh,
like
babe.
Traeger's piercings, nothing, 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 nothing.
Bless you. Okay, I managed to get my dad to take me. My mum said no, and then I asked my dad, and my dad let me get my piercings.
Fair enough. So you don't have a tattoo? I thought you do.
I've got one on my wrist.
Okay, but do your parents know about that?
No, most people don't. It's a tiny little dot on my wrist. Like
Fair
most
enough.
people can't you can't actually see it.
Okay.
Um,
And if
and
anyone did, it looks like pen because it's so small.
yeah. Plus, I had it hennaed on for a while as well in
Ah,
black
okay.
henna. So it was just something I've always really had. So no one's ever like questioned it. It just slowly it became part of my skin.
Fair enough. Well, you heard it first here. Shia has a tattoo, and if you do really want to like see it, then if you do see her, look on her wrist.
Magnifying glass.
Literally. Oh, no, to be honest though, I feel like my mom and dad will say, yeah, you can do whatever you want after you're married. But I remember like this vivid like memory. We were at my auntie's house and it was like all of us cousins and we were just sitting around just talking. And I was talking to my cousin and I said, oh, you know what? Like, I really want 4 kids. And she was like, oh, yeah, that would be really, really nice. And I was like, yeah. But I said, oh, like, obviously, I've never had kids, guys. So I know, like, labor and all of that is just a lot. So I did say, like, ask me that question after I have 1 kid. And my cousin, for jokes, just said to my mum, and because she was sitting nearby, and she went, oh, guess what Vijita said? And she was like, oh, what did she say? She said, oh, she said she's going to have 8 kids when she gets married. And I was like, what? And then I looked at her and she was like, just go with it. And I was like, all right, fine. I don't know where this is going. And then I looked at my mom and the mom was like, 8 kids? No, you can only have like 3. And then I just looked and I was like, what? And then my sister was like, look how my mom is still trying to demand and order how many kids Vijita can have, which will obviously be her choice when she gets married. And my mom started laughing. And she was like, yeah, she didn't even say anything. She was like, yeah, I just realized that I just said that. And everyone was just laughing at her. And I was like, yeah, mom, like once I'm married, I can have as many kids as I want. And my mom was like, yeah, of course. Yeah, you
Oh,
can.
Vidge, you're not going to be free even after married, babe.
Basically, it's like my mom's going to be there like, right, you've had enough now. That's it. Number 3. Oh, God. But it just made me laugh because I was just like, wow, there's just like,
You're
with
never getting your piercing as
parents,
well.
yeah, you'll just never be able to just do whatever. No, I'm definitely getting piercing and a tattoo, 100%. Hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
I say that, but I'm actually low key shook. Like, oh my God, what if my mom and dad say something?
Thing is, mine kind of have been my parents' rule wasn't you can get a tattoo after you get married. It was you can get a tattoo when you know you 100% want it and will never regret it. But I
Fair
think that's
enough.
because my dad was like, if you want a tattoo for 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
and it's that same tattoo and it hasn't changed or developed or anything, then you can get it.
Okay, well, I think that's more responsible way of saying, take your time and figure out what
I
is
don't
yet.
think it was that, Vij. I think it was just you'll change your mind. I have no belief in you whatsoever.
Oh, well, you will change your mind, and we are counting on you changing your mind so you don't actually end up having one.
Exactly. That's
Oh,
exactly what it was.
well then. Well, that is Asian parents for you, really. Like, what can
I,
you do?
yeah, Asian parents are hilarious though. There's one. There was one lie I once heard, which I found so weird. I don't know how often or common it actually is, but
Mm-hmm.
like, Asians have that whole thing where, kids who get arranged marriages are always like well spoken about, oh yeah, she listened to her parents or he listened to her parents, got an arranged marriage,
Yeah,
this and that. But when it comes to love marriage, it's a little bit more, ooh,
it's a bit risky,
it's a bit risky,
frisky.
isn't it? You never know what's gonna happen, what everyone else is gonna think when it's a love marriage. Um, so I've actually met people who have lied about their kids getting an
No.
arranged marriage, and it baffled me because I remember like this girl I knew, she basically out of the blue, she was just like, oh, I don't want to get married, I don't want to get married, I don't want to get married,
Mm-hmm.
to her parents and stuff, and then like boom, and then like it was her engagement party, like
What?
like a couple of like I swear I want to say like weeks later.
What?
Yeah, except and I was just like, interesting. Okay, maybe the parents forced it,
Mm.
and convinced her around it. But then when she when we kind of like went to like the engagement and stuff, they were really chummy. Like they were so chummy and like in front of people. And
So
like
it was like
I was
they
like,
knew each other.
yeah. So I was like, I was like a little red flag, and I was like, I don't think this is an arranged marriage. This looks like they were dating. I was like, they
Oh,
100% had to be of dating because otherwise they wouldn't be this close. Or, I mean, I've not been arranged for anyone, so I can't speak about if you can build a connection that quickly or not. But
yeah,
I don't know, something just seemed really off to me.
yeah.
So I can't like, and the parents were like, oh yeah, it's an arranged marriage. He's from this kind of household, really well respected, blah blah blah. We found them, and
Right.
I was like, okay then. And then I don't remember how this conversation started, but when I was having a discussion with him, I kind of brought it up, and then he was like, yeah, it's a love marriage. We've been
What?
dating for a while. And I was like, what? I was like, I don't even understand the need to lie here.
That doesn't even. I don't get it. That doesn't even. I don't. I have no words. I don't get it. Why? Surely, isn't it better that it's a love marriage because, like, the daughter found him herself, and bonus is that they're from a reputable family and blah blah blah, and everything ticks their boxes. So shouldn't it be a good thing promoting that it's a love marriage?
See, I
Why?
don't know. I think this is why I'm actually genuinely questioning if there are some Asian parents who think that it's only respectable to have an arranged marriage. Because I can't think of any other reason why you would lie about it.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't even make sense. I mean, guys, if you have been through a similar situation, like you've been arranged yourself, or people around, and the parents have said, something else that it's not been, or if you've had a love marriage and your parents have said it's an arranged marriage, like, do you know why they've done this? Like, what's kind of the reasoning behind it? Because it would be great to have some clarification. Because as you can probably hear, I am baffed. I just don't get it.
Yeah,
What
honestly, we would love to know. Like, email us, message us on Instagram, throw it all our way. We are genuinely so curious. Like this situation got me confused so often because I just could not figure out why they would lie.
Yeah, and I feel like they aren't the only person to have done this. I feel like this must be a commonish thing that actually happens, because I can imagine Tamil parents being like, oh yeah, like, it's look a bit too modern, and I don't want people thinking that we are modern. I want people to think that we have traditional values and culture, and I think that's probably the only thing I can think of as to why they would lie about that. But like, besides from that, it mind boggles me. Like, I'm really really intrigued to know why they did that. I just don't get it.
Yeah,
I
not
enjoy
do
it.
I. Like my parents, they were constant like, yeah, she found her own guy. And I was like, thumbs up. Yes, I did.
Yeah,
Well
I
done
feel
me.
I feel like wouldn't you be more gassed about the fact that, we're like in London and your kid found a Tamil guy that fits all your criteria? Isn't that more of a thing to brag about than you being like, yeah, my daughter couldn't find anyone, so I had to go old school and do an arranged marriage? Like, surely it would be better for you to be like gassed and be like, yeah, my daughter actually smashed it out the park and found
But
like an
I think
amazing.
we come from different families where it's accepted. And I think there's
Ah,
probably families who don't accept and aren't used to love marriage, and it's very much, the parents find their kids someone.
it's like a
And
taboo thing, a love marriage.
yeah,
Maybe. I mean, yeah, okay. Maybe it's that then. That would actually make more sense if because people aren't used to it in that particular family, so they're just like, we will just say arranged marriage so that we don't get many questions.
yeah.
That could possibly be it. Okay. Well, I'm still intrigued to know though.
Oh yeah, 100%. Let us know,
Interesting.
guys.
Yeah, definitely let us know. But I think we've pretty much dissected this this episode with everyone's thoughts and the stuff that we've heard about in terms of lies that brown parents tell about their own children and in general. Please let us know what other lies you've heard, because it's just funny really, and I would just like to laugh.
Same.
So definitely email us at openbookvs@gmail.com, or you can DM us at openbookvs as well.
Yeah, and if you guys have any other like topics that you guys want us to talk about, DM us on Instagram. You can also email us. Vid, do you want to give your Instagram?
Yeah, so my Instagram is VijVlog, so VIJVLOGS, no spaces.
And mine is Shia Ventures, so SHIYAAVENTURES. No spaces or anything in between.
Cool. But thank you guys for listening, and we hope you thoroughly enjoyed this episode. And we just want to say thank you so much for all the love and support you've shown us on our first episode, because we were honestly not expecting as many people to tune in, and I'm glad that it was so relatable, which is what you've pretty much heard as well from your kind of.
Yeah, the feedback has been insane. And what really excites me is all of the suggestions so many of you have actually given us about future episodes that you want to see. We've like curated a list and we'll be literally banging those out. So we're super excited and proud of what this is actually going to become. Yeah.
Awesome. So we will see you in our next episode.
Bye, guys.
Bye.